this is Johnny. If you don't know, he arrived to see our bean store, Crazy Beans with Robert. They're both here.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny, guys. And we
In
just
the flash.
in a flash, exactly. He got his GoPro on already.
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's really cold in Cleveland today. It's like
It's a little
30 something degrees, and we don't have any snow yet.
I know, saw some on the roofs though.
Yeah, but we're gonna go in with Johnny. Hopefully, we'll find something. Today is not an ideal day because it's Saturday, but we'll find something.
Hello. Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Yep.
And welcome, guys, to Saturday night.
Yep.
Welcome to Saturday night, guys. Another Saturday Night Live from Cleveland, Ohio. And really appreciate you guys stopping by today. Everyone in the chat already that's stopping in right now and joining us for this another Saturday edition of self-proclaimed, like Ben Rocky Top Picker said, self-proclaimed unprofessional reseller live, guys.
Now he's got the gold scissors coming out.
Got some gold scissors, guys. But Ben actually said I cannot use markers no more because he got them copyrighted, guys. So I have to use any other tool or scissors or anything else except markers. So self-proclaimed unprofessional reseller life is back. And this week we got Johnny, the New England Cajun Roots reseller, guys. And I hope you guys, everyone in the community and whoever is lurking, whoever is going to be rewatching this live and currently in our live knows Johnny and knows his lives, knows his auctions and bingo nights and all the stuff that Johnny has done in his YouTube journey. And it was an amazing journey. And Johnny, originally, when I started out my YouTube magical world journey, invited me on his live to be a guest. And that was a while back in 2021, guys. So I would say not very long time ago, but it's been a while, kind of, as time flies, as you know. And the footage, guys, that I just showed when we started was when Johnny and Robert came here to Cleveland, guys, to visit me. And we went to Source at our, now I told Johnny it's no longer a good store, but when in 2021, it was still a good place to source. It was an Amazon bean store, Crazy Beans.
Right.
And we had a great time. And then we went sourcing to Goodwill, and then we went out to eat. So if you guys haven't watched that video, guys, you can watch it. I'll put the link for it later on. But before we start, guys, if you're not subscribed to Great Johnny, the New England Cajun Roots reseller, please subscribe to Johnny, guys, because Johnny has helped a lot of people, guys, and it's truly one of a kind, unique person in the community. And it's an honor for me and Lisa to actually have Johnny on today. And, you know, the stuff that he's done, the stuff that he went through with his channel, and he prevailed and helped people in the community with his knowledge, his videos.
That's right, Woody.
Promoting channels constantly every day, inviting guests I think every day, Johnny, you invite someone.
Every morning.
Every morning. And you guys know that Johnny's live start at 8 a.m. Eastern time till 9 a.m. Eastern time. And usually I miss nowadays all the lives because I sleep at that time. So I apologize to Johnny for that. So he understands at least. But I'll try to improve. Maybe I'll try to stop by Johnny's lives maybe at least 5 times a year.
And that's a good number too.
Yeah. So let me say hello to our beautiful people in the chat. We got John Rodrelix in the house. John, welcome.
Hello, John.
We got Lisa also in the house, guys. Beautiful Lisa. Bubbles, Blinks, and Needful Things stopped by today again. Lisa, thank you for joining us today. It's an honor to have you on.
Be here. So nice to be invited.
Yes, I really appreciate you being on time and stopping by to help us out.
And on time. Wow.
Yeah. Oh no, beyond time thing.
We got little Debbie in the house. Debbie, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. We got Vintage Ivan, Vintage Vani. Hello. Like Johnny says, hello, everyone.
Hello. It's hello.
Hello. I love it, actually. It's kind of unique also, guys. Only Johnny does it. We got Lisa saying, howdy, friends. Sit back and chillax. See, there you go. And Lisa hopefully will be here soon. We got Michelle from Strongsville, Ohio. Hi, Roman, Lisa, and Johnny. Sorry, haven't been around. I broke my arm a couple of weeks ago. It's been a little rough on me, but hello, everybody. Michelle,
Well, hello.
hopefully
Okay.
you're doing better, and thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Hopefully, a speedy
We got
recovery.
Lori in the house. Hey, guys, been a while since I was free on Saturday evening to pop in, say hi. Lori and Kyle, thanks for stopping by, guys. I know Happy Picker and Grumpy Picker probably also watching right now on the couch. We got Who Dat? Woody, reselling with Woody in the house. Woody, welcome. So, guys, really appreciate all of you who will stop by today and lurk and rewatch. We really appreciate and love you guys for supporting this debacle of what Ben told me on Reseller Locker Room podcast is not self-proclaimed unprofessional reseller life, where there's nobody knows anything about reselling. Well, hopefully Johnny will change it, guys, because Johnny knows about reselling, guys. Me and Lisa, not that much. So if you have any
I'm
questions,
still learning, but yeah.
if you guys have any questions, let us know in the chat, and Johnny will be happy if we catch up. Actually, if I catch up, and Lisa will try to answer it. So, guys, I'm pretty sure everyone knows Johnny. So, Johnny, if you want to introduce yourself and tell everyone about your YouTube journey, how you started out, because I think maybe there were different lives and podcasts where you were a guest and you already just told that story, but not on our live yet. So if you would like, you can tell us how you started your YouTube journey, your reselling journey from the beginning.
Well, I'm originally born and raised in Louisiana, and my husband and I, the company he was working for was closing down in Louisiana, out of New Orleans. So we had to either he had to find another job or move with the company. So that was in 2018 in December. We found it right around Christmas time. And so we basically had to come up here because the job was over here in Massachusetts. And so we came up here and started looking for houses. We came up here in February because by that time, that was when he knew he had to be up here by February 11th. And so we started coming up here and looking for houses. And the first thing I asked him, I said, well, what am I going to do? I don't know nobody up there. I'm from Louisiana. Everywhere I go, I know somebody. But I had a cleaning company that was for a good 8-10 years. And I had a great clientele. And then also was doing quilting. So I also did like craft shows. I did a lot of quilts there and sold a lot of quilts. And so I didn't know what I was going to do when I moved up here. And Robert says, well, you always say you can sell ice to Eskimo. So guess what? I got something for you. And so he gives me a couple of channels to watch from YouTube on reselling. And I guess I always have been a reseller because I've always been like when I was in school, I'd always take candy, turn around and buy it for like a nickel and turn around and sell it for 25 cents. So I guess that was part of reselling back as a kid, but not realizing that it was an actual business. So I started looking at things. And then as I was packing the house, that's one thing I always recommend people doing when you decide to want to start any kind of reselling, no matter what platform you choose. I had basically merged and purged the house as I was packing because I already knew what the house here looked like. So I knew where my eBay room was going to be because I measured everything like where the quilting machine was going to go and where I was going to do my eBay stuff. And so everything was packed at basement, eBay room, basement, eBay room. And basically anything that I didn't touch or was still new in package for 6 months or more, they got in that box. That was my inventory to start with. So when I moved up here, we moved here in this new house. It'll be on the 24th, which is in 2 days. We moved here 5 years ago in this house. So it took me 1 month to get everything organized, unpacked, because Robert was working every day. So I put everything in place, and then I started my first listing on July the 24th, and I picked eBay to start with. So that's why I moved to Mass, and that's why I started doing reselling. Well, now I'm on eBay, Mercari, Etsy, Posh. I have 2 antique boots. And I also just started doing quilts on quilting items on Michael's Maker's Place. It's a new website for Michael's for crafters. And then I do let everybody know if they want to get into and they do crafting that you make homemade items. I do have a referral link that I can give somebody, but you have to email me and I'll email you, get you into the sponsorship through them. It's amazing. I already had my first sale. Everything I listed in 1 day, I already had to sell the next morning. So it got me hooked, and I got 2 more crates of quilts that I got to put up. I just started doing some more quilting items on the side. I enjoy quilting because it's more relaxing, Whereas with eBay and reselling, you got to buy your products, list your products, sell your products, pack and ship, and all that stuff. So that's just my little wind down little thing that I do on the side. And I've been doing that since 2019 full time. And then I basically started doing my reselling also in antique booths, because anytime I go out sourcing, anything that I find, I got multiple ways of sourcing. But what I do is I'll take the bigger items or things that are vintage or antique and put those in my antique booth, because I sell them faster. They're like Fenton, vintage jewelry, vintage cameras, you name it, it sells in there. So that's why I put those things there. And then anything else that I can see, it depends on what platform I'm going to put it on. Sometimes I do on multiple platforms, but I still make sure I do the sales on both. And then I do cross posting so I can make sure I get those off each one. I look at it this way: instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, why not diversify and put things on multiple platforms? And that's why I do that. And I enjoy it, actually. And then I teach others how to do that on the morning show. And when I started YouTube, that was in November 28th was my very first video. And then as they call green videos, green space, those are the ones that are always people go back to watch, which I basically have a lot of playlists. And the biggest one that I get a lot of views on is how-to videos. And so if you go to my channel, you will see a list of different playlists. And that's because I keep everything in its own playlist, because I do the morning shows. I also do open mic, where I'll drop the link for people to come on up and ask questions or promote their channel, especially if they have a special event or they're having something coming up. And then on Monday nights, I do Fun Night Bingo Night. I've been doing that for over 4 years. And then I've been doing the Hump Day Auction for over 4 years. And that is where I host the show. And I have 3 co-hosts, and every show I have 2 guests. And that's all I do. I just host it. Everybody else sells. And because I want to make sure that they get their channels out there. And then I do, for those who are members of my channel, I do a first Tuesday of each month. It's called the Rapid Fire Round Showcasing of members of my channel, where you do not have to be a member to purchase or to be in the chat. You only need to be a member to be on the panel. And that's how I do that, to get back to my members of the channel. And I've been doing that ever since. And it's been just keep on growing. And when I lost my first channel, it was something that, like you see, like right now, Roman's highlighting a comment, and it would happen to be somebody's avatar. If you go back and watch my first video on this channel, you will see that first video. Don't let this happen to you. Just go back and watch it. And I talk about what happened, and I should not have done that, and highlighted it. That's what got my first channel taken away. The second channel was taken away, which I just got back, was because I found out that you're not supposed to restart a whole new channel once you get your channel taken away. And that's why the second one got taken away. Besides, I was also, they were saying I was promoting my own terminated channel, is what they were saying. Let's see, we're quitting our antique booths.
Oh, it's just me. I'm just talking to people. That's what
Yeah,
I do,
well,
Johnny.
that's actually a very good explanation of everything, Johnny, as you usually do.
And then, of course, it took me 2 years and 3 months. But after fighting to get those back, I got them all back. And that's including my cooking channel, I got my fur babies channels, which is Cajun Roots Fur Babies, that I've all adopted. And then I have the Cajun Roots Cuisine channel now. And what I did was the temporary channel that I had, I turned that into a JJ3 Quilt Creations, which is the name of my business for quilting. And so if you ever want to look at any of the quilts, if you go to my channel, I have all links of every platform I sell on, including affiliate links. That way, if you want to check out certain things and you want to be interested in it, you're more than welcome to do that. And it's free for you. So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Todd? I'm here.
What's up, Todd? What's up, Larry Todd in the house, guys? Silver hair stacker, original gangster of YouTube world.
Well, everybody says it is his arm and his keyboard, you see.
He has implemented one of the most unique ways of doing lives or any type of video. Well, videos, I think when I watched, I never seen Todd actually showing himself in a video either, I think. I don't remember, but I don't think he shows himself in a video. So, Todd, props to you that nobody knows what you look like still. So,
yep, exactly.
But
we just know he's old.
Hands and great wood.
The only thing we know is that he's old, he says.
Yeah, he's about 20 years old, guys, and Todd just kind of wears some kind of mask just so nobody understands exactly how old he is or who he is, which is actually a good strategy for YouTube. So props to Todd So nobody actually will ever find out who he is, guys.
Well, you know what though? That goes to prove though, a lot of people are afraid of starting YouTube because they have to show their face. That's just the living proof right there. You do not. There's a lot of people who are very known and a lot of subscribers and get a lot of views because of their hands. They just showing their hands if they're doing auctions. There's a lot of people who don't show their face, and that is okay because that is somewhat going into the new YouTube phase where people are still getting monetized from not showing their face. It's okay.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Johnny, that it actually also works on Whatnot, live auctions.
Right. I
People
sure do.
just show their stuff with
And I
their
also
hands.
do lives on Posh as well.
That's great. You're actually, I mean, there is a lot of different platforms, and Johnny has kind of been all over the place, which is actually a good
Well,
strategy for
that's why I
business.
teach people don't do them. I didn't do them all at one time. It took me a while. I've been doing this for what, 5 years now. But the thing is, start small. Start on one platform. It doesn't matter what platform you do. Whatever platform you start on, try to master it to where you know what you're doing and get it down pat, and then start another platform. If I would have to change what I know now compared to when I first started, I would have actually started on Posh because it's easy, quick to list, quick to put your pictures up there, and it's very little work compared to eBay. So for me, I would have started on Posh if I would have known that back then. But it's okay because now I've learned the different platforms. When I'm outsourcing, I already know what I'm purchasing. I'm going to flip it on what platform. I already know that. So yeah.
And that's good, actually. Yeah, Poshmark, right now, it's you can list basically everything on there. I mean, originally it started out mostly as clothing, shoes, and accessories. Now you can list electronics there, but it has to be under 5 pounds. If it's
Yeah.
over, if it's over 5 pounds, guys, you're gonna have to buy. I mean, you're gonna be charged more
Yeah.
by Poshmark for shipping. So just be aware.
Well, you can also put on there if it is over 5 pounds, you can check off the extra, so they only charge you the difference of the extra.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that happened to me also in the past, which I kind of
Yeah.
already know, but I don't tend not to put anything heavy on there anyway. So I
Right.
did maybe 2 times, and both times I kind of knew about it and forgot about it. So it is what it is now. But just yeah, you
Yeah, I pulled one
mostly
of my items off of there because it was over 5 pounds when I first started listing. So I just basically I put it on the a not for sale, but it's still there, but nobody can see it, as far as I know. But it's not available.
yeah, that's true. And Johnny, in your experience, how was the change for you when you from Louisiana, living there for so many years and then moving to Northeast? I would say it's kind
What
of more east to the Northeast, but compared to living in the South, like Louisiana, where it's warm, and moving
I have to say, I love it. Believe it or not, I actually love the Four Seasons. I do not. I have to say the only thing I miss about Louisiana is my dad and my stepmother and my family. Other than that, I do not miss the humidity. I don't miss the heat, and I don't miss the mosquitoes. You know,
Yeah.
we do have some up here, but not the large ones like that can carry you away down south compared to up here. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I
that's
I, I
true.
really I enjoyed it. It was a culture shock because again, when I moved up here, it's trying to understand what they're saying. Like I pop my car. Well, what a car? What is the car? In the harbor. What's the harbor? You know, I'm still trying to learn that because there's very few people that when I hear that, it's like, huh? So yeah, I'm getting used to it, but no, it's just a totally different culture. But I have to say, I'm making friends as I go because I'm a type of person. I'm a speaker. I'm a talker. I'm always passing out my business cards when they say, "What are you doing?" If I'm at the post office and I see somebody with a whole bunch of, "Oh, you must sell on eBay." Yes, I do, and that's it. We start a whole conversation. Child. Now here's my bingo. My business cards are flying all over the place. I never leave home without it. Like American Express, it's always with me.
That's true. That's good. That's
That's
a good
right.
business strategy, guys.
That's
And
right.
Johnny, when he moved to Massachusetts, guys, to Boston, are you in actual Boston area or
No,
you're
no,
like
no, no, no. I'm like an hour and 45 minutes from Boston. I'm more southeast. Southeast. I'm more actually. Um, I'm more towards like the New Hampshire side and like the northeast.
okay?
I'm like an
And
hour and 45 minutes from Boston. I live in the
yeah,
country.
Yeah, that's actually a beautiful area, I think, of Massachusetts over there. It's not
Yeah,
very, very, very badly. Like, I would not say, I mean, I know Boston is very populated, but
yeah.
Massachusetts as a state is populated
It's,
also. But whenever Johnny goes, guys, whenever he meets people, he says, hello. And they kind of respond with their accent from Boston, guys.
Yeah. But what I have to say too with that, I've had that from years, even in New Orleans, working in the French Quarter and cleaning those condos in the French Quarter. If somebody passed by and they said, "How you doing?" or like they'll say hello, and I'll say hello, or I'll say if I see somebody that I know that's like half a block away, I'll say hello, how you doing, girlfriend? And they all look around, they think it's Medea, and it's like, no, here I am, and that's how that stuck with me. It's like that's just a habit.
It is actually
Um,
kind of cool. It's
yeah.
actually interesting, Johnny. We're gonna talk more about that stuff. Let me say hello to Mr. Sadie in the house. Mr. Sadie, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. We got Bobby in the house. Long story medium. The swamps and alligators. And
Yep.
Johnny, Bobby wants to know. Please ask the guest if he has been to Brimfield flea market,
I
either to buy or
haven't
to sell.
yet. I haven't yet because I was told that it's really hot if you go like in the springtime and all that. So I'm waiting for the fall. I haven't been there yet, and everybody knows me as when I say that word yet. I do plan on it, but I haven't yet. I have been to some other locations of flea markets, but not to that one yet. It is on my goal to do soon. So we'll probably be doing that in the fall this year.
Interesting.
So
Is that
are you in this area?
no, he's actually from Long Island, New York.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hopefully, unless Bobby moved. Bobby, I don't think you moved, so you are from Long Island, New York, because I don't think Bobby will ever move with his dust pile from where he is. So he'll probably stay at one place, most
What's
likely.
up, Harry?
Harry Comstone in the house, guys. Harry, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. Another original gangster with a great YouTube channel and a lot of knowledge. So, Harry, thanks for stopping by today. But yeah, the flea market stuff is very interesting stuff. Do you like going to flea markets at all, Johnny?
Yes.
Do you like to
I've
sort? Do you like to
I like
source?
to source from there. When I first moved up here, Robert would bring me to a few flea markets because Robert also does a little bit of reselling on eBay, but he's more in the collector side of it. So when he does go to like these flea markets, he already knew where they were before I even moved back up here when we actually into the house. But he was already up here working, so he would take his weekends and his Fridays off and go sourcing or going checking out these places. So I have been to a few flea markets where I've racked up on some great things, great prices, and I flipped them for good money. So I'm not afraid to go to flea markets and purchase. Yes, I missed you too, Harry. We were in Delaware this past week. We went to Virginia Beach, Virginia, for vacation, and then on our way down, we stopped in Baltimore, Maryland, and we stayed there for 2 days. And then we got to meet a couple of new YouTubers, and then we went to Virginia Beach, and we didn't meet anyone there, or did we? Yes, we did. No, we didn't meet anybody there. We just went to local places and thrift shops, and I did a lot of that. And then on the way back, we stopped in Delaware, and I got to meet Maggie Doodle. She and we went to a restaurant called the Lazy Sheep, the Lazy something. What was it called? Lightweight? No. Why am I not remembering that restaurant? Because it was some good food. It was an actual good restaurant too. Let's see here.
We can all, guys. We can all guess in the chat.
I'm trying to remember. I can tell you right now. Hold on. The Fainting Goat. The Fainting Goat. It's in Pennsylvania.
seems memorable.
Oh, it was good. It was some great
Kind
food.
of interesting name, Johnny. We'll always
Yeah, no.
remember that.
I'm gonna post it on my videos. Yeah, but it was great food.
And Johnny, how do you compare amazing food from Louisiana, which is really amazing, to the
Well,
food
with
in
Cajun
Massachusetts?
food, it's in its own category because that's what I love to cook. Whereas if it's something that I'm not used to, like I love turkey burgers. I'm very picky on the meats I eat because of the gout problem I have. So for me to keep it under control, I do have to keep that red meat and shellfish at a minimum of moderation. And I just happened to have a bacon cheeseburger that morning. It was a good one too. So I figured I'd do a turkey burger. This was the first time I ever had a turkey burger that was actually made from turkey meat. It was actually fabulous. So to me, it's different than what I'm used to. So that's what I mean by a great place to eat.
Yeah, and healthy, guys. Healthy, by
Yes.
the way. That's the
Yes.
most important part. Healthy food compared to something which is not healthy, which is
No,
basically
exactly.
what usually happens to me all the time. But I can tell you that, Johnny, you're already familiar with amazing Louisiana food because I loved Emerald Lagasse.
Yep.
who-
Bam.
Emerald Lagasse, guys, or Lagasse, to
Yep.
be exact, is kind of known personality from Louisiana. I don't think he's actually originally from Louisiana. Maybe
No.
maybe he is, but
No.
he's done amazing job cooking over there, having his restaurant there in Louisiana. I don't know if
Yeah.
he still does, but
Yeah. There's one in New Orleans in the garden in the business district, the
and
warehouse district too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's been
That's right. Bam.
unbelievable. Yeah, bam. Yeah, he does it all the time. Like puts on like bam on that thing.
You can ask any questions you need. It depends on what the questions are. I will answer it. Yeah.
There you go.
You ask
Mr.
me.
Seth is asking any cool finds lately. Johnny or us all. I'm not sure if Mr. Seth refers to all of us or Johnny himself, but Johnny, what was the most coolest find lately for you?
For me, I have been finding some vintage jewelry. Went to a citywide garage sale a couple of weeks ago, and I hit this motherlode of a place where the lady and her husband, they had like she had her one side of the garage driveway, and he had his, but she had this table full of jewelry, and so I had to go check it out because I love me some jewelry. And it just so happened I was talking to her because it was a lot of jewelry that's like, wow, this is nice. And she said that her mom and her used to sell it. And I said, well, what brand is this? And because it looks like Sarah Coventry. She says, well, this is all Sarah Coventry. And a lot of it was sets of jewelry, not just like a necklace or a pair of earrings or clip-ons or whatever. She had literally had the sets, and she was giving them. And I didn't hack her down because it was some great prices. And like I got everything for $35. And when I say got everything for $35, I had over 11 pieces that I picked up, and only paid $35 for it. And I gave it to her with no problem because one of those pieces, just if I was to break them apart, because when I looked up the comps, each piece was only being sold as a separate piece. Whereas I had the gift box and I had the whole complete set. That I could be able to sell because one piece alone was $75 sold, which I can get on that along a whole conversation about when you're looking up things. I look at only what's sold. Yes, I do look at how many are listed as what's being listed, but I always look at how many are sold and what they're selling for. And when each piece I looked up, each individual piece was selling for $75. It's like, why you don't just put it all together? Because they didn't have the gift box. Whereas this, I actually got the gift box. So I haven't listed it yet because I'm really doing my research on this one because it had the brooch, the earrings, and the necklace. And so I was able to get a couple of pieces like that. And that, I have to say, was my recent most fabulous find. But I do find some other things too every time I go around here. I just found a fossil purse, which I'll be doing a video on coming soon of all the things that I posted because I got to get those listed. And that's my goal. When I go out sourcing, that has to be listed the next following week. So that's just my way of things that I pick up. And you will see that video shortly because I will be doing that video coming soon.
Interesting. Yeah, so this jewelry stuff. You actually, I know, Johnny, that you actually know your jewelry. So you're knowledgeable in jewelry because you've done
Now, again, I'm still learning, but I do know enough to know what is vintage, what is reproduced, what is a repop, and those are the ones I stay from. Especially, you can tell if they're made from China or if it's actual vintage. Because there are some things that look vintage that are not.
That's absolutely true. Like with all other type of stuff, like clothing, purses, all that type of stuff requires at least some kind of knowledge to tell apart if it's real or a fake. You guys know in the chat better than us here than it is.
One of the things too, when you go on sourcing, one of the things I like to do is the fun part of that whole sourcing is to actually do the research on it. Now, granted, there are sometimes when I first started, there were some times where I didn't carry with me a little a screwdriver set or a flashlight or extra batteries. And I should have done that because there were some bad sales things that I bought that I should have never bought. But guess what? I redonated it back because somebody else may want it, but it was just something that I should not have done. So you do learn from your mistakes, and you learn from doing the research, because I never did comic books. Now I do comic books. I never did sports cards. Now I do sports cards, so it's just a matter of taking them and doing the research and learning. The more you learn, the knowledge is power, then you better go on more.
That is 100% great points, Johnny. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, guys, today that Johnny always preaches on his life almost every day.
Yep.
And it's just amazing knowledge for a lot of new YouTube content creators and new resellers and not content creators. So a lot of knowledge, and it happens every day on Johnny's lives from Mondays through Friday, where people come in, tell their stories, guests that come in. So that's always great knowledge. And Bobby is asking if you ever been to Bearcat or Humble Bagels in New Orleans.
Bearcat or Humble Bagels?
I have no idea where it is, Johnny.
He's asking you, but I don't recognize those names. Are they fairly new restaurants?
Well, Bobby, let us know how you know about them in the chat.
I've never heard of those.
Maybe Bobby visited New Orleans recently and went to those places where Bobby rarely travels, guys, but maybe he did to New Orleans and nobody knows about it.
I love Ari and Little Debbie.
Because Bobby knows Taco Bell locations very good. I mean, I'm not sure.
I cannot stand Taco Bell, so don't ask me where they're at. I only know the one here.
Yeah. Lori, that's actually great. Yeah, congratulations about that. That's actually really good stuff.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And Harry said that's why you're a happy picker. That's exactly right. I'm usually a happy picker anyway. And Kyle usually is a grumpy picker. So if Lori is happy, Kyle is never happy. So there you go. No, I'm kidding.
And this is a good point too. Mr. Sadie was saying about a good point about doesn't give the entire story. We're just looking for solds. One of the things I noticed when sourcing, whether you're at an antique mall, estate sale, garage sale, doesn't matter. If somebody has a little piece of paper, and I'm just going to use this as an example, and it's a printout of what is on, this is what it's selling for, or this is what it's going for on eBay. No. If it's a colored printer, you're going to see that it's in black, the price. That's what it's listed for. You can ask whatever you want for an item. That don't mean you're going to get it, because remember, it's what they're willing to pay. So I look at what the green, if it's in green, then yeah, it's what's selling for. But you get that a lot where people say, well, that's what it's gone for on eBay. No, that's what they're asking for. You want to look at the sold comps. And I even did that with a lady here locally. And like I told her, I said, the sad thing about this is you having it here as it's sold on eBay. That's actually a listing. And I pulled it up in the front of her and I showed her and I explained to her the difference. And she still let me have it for $5 because she wanted $25 for both. And I got them for $5 for both. So, and then I turned around and sold them for $25.
That's great, Johnny. That's how you teach someone to look for that stuff. I mean, all of us know about it, about different content creators posting YouTube videos about people at garage sales or estate sales or wherever, just going by listed comps all the time and just price it up, and which is kind of already known for a certain amount of time. So it's kind of already something that you always bring up, and a lot of people learn throughout the years about it. So at least most I would say younger generation right now, they all know. They kind of got used to it and got a hang of it. So they already know, and it is what it is. It's gonna become more and more like that. Hopefully, people will realize it and stuff like that.
And for the question for Little Debbie and Harry, no, I stopped selling on Amazon because I look at it this way: I was paying $39.95 a month, and I wasn't getting the sales because every time you turn around eBay, Amazon was trying to get me to lower my prices, and the lower I would lower it, come down on it, it's like I've been paying people to buy it from me. No, ain't gonna happen. So I pulled my items, all my inventory at the end of last year. My goal was to have it completely done and pulled, and everything else is already listed on other platforms. I'm not gonna keep paying the $39.99 and drop my prices and not have any sales. So I pulled everything off.
Yeah, Amazon is. We talked with Johnny.
It's a tough cookie.
Yeah, we talked with Johnny backstage about it. By the way, talking about Amazon, we got Scott Bearded Picker in the house.
What's up, Scott?
Yeah, Scott, about the knowledge for Amazon, guys, Scott would be number one of the top, I think, to talk about
He's
because
live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
yes, on very very important topics, guys, compared to our unprofessional. Guys, I always have to repeat because Ben has been recording our live. Ben, for you, if you're lurking, self-proclaimed
Really?
unprofessional reseller live because Ben said that he sent all types of non-compete agreements, non-disclosure. So just he told me do not use a marker, use anything else. So have to use scissors and stuff like that, screwdrivers, pipe wrenches, so all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Amazon. We talked with Johnny about Amazon a little bit before we went live. Is that it's completely different? I mean, it's just it is what it is. I mean, and
Yeah.
Amazon doesn't allow a lot of stuff that you can do on eBay. And fortunately enough, right now, in my opinion, eBay most likely, I hope, in upcoming future, will not turn their policies like Amazon does because that's where you're gonna know it's gonna get really tough to resell stuff on that platform also. Like
Well, Amazon is going to work for some people, and again, for me, it didn't work for me because I was listing and buying things from like I got approved for Hasbro. I bought inventory and I listed it, and then I would sell out on one, but on the other one, next thing you know, they're saying my prices are too high. You got to come down on your prices, so I would bring them down. But the part about it was the more you bring it down, the more you're getting into your profit. But when it comes down to the part of what you paid for it, no, that's when I draw the line. I'm not gonna have somebody I'm not gonna pay somebody to buy from me. That's just defeating the purpose. What's up, Duncan?
that's actually true,
And Kristen.
absolutely true. But
Yeah.
we got a beautiful Kristen, a ruler squirrel in the house. Hey gang, Kristen, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. Bobby is saying just some people I know who go down to New Orleans. They go to those places. They're very famous. I have no idea, Johnny. You're from
I've
Louisiana.
never heard of both. I've never heard of both of those. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, but Bobby, I mean, hopefully they enjoyed it. I mean, there are a lot of great food places in Louisiana altogether with amazing Cajun food and
Well, it also
seafood.
depends on where you're looking at too, because there's a lot of restaurants that, like after Katrina, they never came back. So it depends on where the restaurants are located. They may have changed names. I'm not sure, but if I know that something still, I always look before somebody asks me for a recommendation. I'll look and make sure they're still open before I give somebody a recommendation.
And let me say hello to Duncan. We are from Australia, and I'm always kind of trying to say sorry to Duncan for not be able to read his comments at the current live. I have to go back a couple months ago and read his comments by myself. So, Duncan, we apologize for being unprofessional. Reseller live. We don't know much about reselling, but at least Johnny will improve that today, guys. So you can put a lot of questions in the chat. Johnny will answer them. And Scott is saying he's 39 again. Scott, that's a good age actually.
Yeah,
Try to stay at around 39. I would say 38 to 40. That's where that's where you want
I'm
to be.
happy. I just turned 58. I'm happy about that.
That's where
I'm
you want to be.
getting closer to 60 and feel like I'm 30.
Yeah, and Scott says Amazon is terrible. Nobody should sell there. Actually, I do sell on Amazon, and you guys already know that. I actually talked about it when me and Lisa were on Reseller Locker Room podcast. With I sell media mostly and some board games on Amazon, and rarely something else. I mean, sometimes I'll put something on there if it's brand new sealed. I used to sell some electronics like DVDs or combos on there before, which actually do better in terms of selling for the price compared to eBay. You can sell it for more on Amazon, but I stopped because I had issues with the buyers complaining about like stuff that I actually tested and worked, and they would open return saying it doesn't. So it's similar to eBay with all most electronics, you know.
Yes,
Um,
I know. It's after dark. Hello, it is me.
yeah, guys, if you're just coming in, we got New England Cajun Roots Reseller, famous Johnny in the house, guys. I would call Johnny famous because for me, he is famous, guys. The stuff that Johnny has done for the community through the times that he was on YouTube is just unbelievable and tremendous. It's just coming in, like I told him before we went live, every day doing morning lives, like Todd, by the way, Silver Hair Stacker, even though Todd comes in like he actually Todd and Tom, they actually come in all the time in the morning also. So like a lot of support in the community, from original gangsters. So that's actually great to see and help out a lot of new resellers, new content creators that need some knowledge. So and Johnny has been tremendous in that regard, guys. And like I said, when I was starting out my channel, it was nice that Johnny invited me as a guest on his live, and eventually, when Johnny and Robert were here in Cleveland, and we talked about all the stuff reselling related on YouTube, it was great advice that Johnny can give you guys about different things. And it's up to you how you want to do your YouTube journey. If it's for you or it's not for you, it's up for you to decide, and you come to it eventually. Not right away, but eventually you realize.
And like I always say, we always can agree to disagree, but it's what you take from it and implement into your business style that you need, and it works for whatever you need to work. Whatever you pull in, and you need to make it your own. Sad that yours. So the heat's been hot around here too.
Yeah, we got 100 degrees today here in Cleveland, and I went to about, I say, 27 houses to the community sales that we had here in Cleveland in one of the suburbs. And when I got back, I just completely fell, like right now, I just fall asleep instantly. I get home and that's it. I have to sleep.
Jeff?
Yeah, so it is kind of normal already. It got into my routine. So Scott, it is actually good to sleep. Take a nap. Guys, if you go to a lot of yard sales and come back, just take a nap. That's one of the good advices.
And it's nothing wrong with taking naps, because that heat's going to get you, especially when you got to stay hydrated. And the more you sweat, of course, you need more liquid.
Yeah, and Duncan is absolutely right. He took 2 years to find my comments, and Lisa took years to send me her only fans link. Yeah, Duncan, we apologize, man. If you want my only
Keeps
fans link,
trying.
I can send it to you later on today, but for extra cost, man. So Australian money is gonna be more, because Australian dollar, I think, is less than American dollar. So you're gonna have to pay up, Duncan. Sorry. And Bobby saying these New Orleans restaurants are in the Jewish neighborhoods.
I will definitely check it out when we go back.
Yeah, I have no idea. Actually, now I want to go to New Orleans to try that food. But I know that food is amazing anyway, because Cajun food, even though it's spicy. Do you like spicy food, Johnny? Most likely you do.
I do, but again, we got to remember, when you go to these Cajun dishes, when you're thinking about Cajun food, you're always thinking it's spicy. It's not. It's the amount of spice that you put in it when you're cooking it. But again, there are some dishes that you can have as spicy as you like by adding. Like there's Tony Chachere's, there's cayenne, a hot sauce. A lot of tables and restaurants you go to, you can add more to your dish when it gets to your plate, but they don't really all cook everything spicy. So that's the misconception that a lot of people have, and it's not all spicy.
Right. It's actually really good flavors, by the way.
Yes.
Try
Combination
Cajun
of flavors.
Yeah, flavors are amazing, because sometimes I will forget a lot of the dish names, but when I try them, and I love this kind of food. I like Creole food and stuff like that, Cajun food, and like a little bit of spice, but not a whole lot, because it's gonna burn you down. So for me personally, I mean, for my taste, I know how I will feel. So, but I love it, and that's similar, Johnny, as you would say, like in Massachusetts right now. Having seafood, for example, because if you go to restaurants near Boston or in Massachusetts in general, you will find some good seafood places also, because they got fresh seafood.
Yeah, but I guarantee you it's not the same.
I can tell you for sure it's not. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Now, I have to say, when I first got up here, Obey. It's like, what the hell is this? I did not like it. I don't like that seasoning, but they use it a lot up here. So yeah, I love my Cajun Creole seasoning.
Right.
Like Tony Chachere's, slap your mama.
Slap your mama, guys, but not that hard. I
use that seasoning a lot. I love that seasoning.
Yeah, there you go. We got Glamours in the Glamours closing. It's Dana in the house. Glamour, welcome. Oh my God, it's Johnny After Dark. You know this is going to be good. There you go. Glamour. It's gonna be after dark today. We got Shagan. Hey all, I'm a reseller in the house. Shagan, welcome. Appreciate you guys stopping by.
Good afternoon.
And everyone who's coming in right now, we really appreciate you guys stopping in today. And here's John say hello and welcome everyone. So there you go. And I know it's a busy night, guys. As you know, on Saturdays, a lot of people having whatnot sales, whatnot shows, other stuff going on. So, like I said, we really appreciate you taking your time and always supporting us, coming in and spending time with us. It really means a lot for me and Lisa in our channel. And like I said, guys, it's amazing how the community sometimes, whenever there is a lot of stuff going on, still comes in and helps support everyone, which is
What's
amazing.
up, Mike?
And Glamma Dana sent us amazing super chat. Glamma, we really appreciate you and we love you. What attractive guest you have tonight, Roman. There you go. Glamma, we really appreciate you. And guys, Glamma does her lives also on Saturdays. And I think right now she does it on Sundays. She used
Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch used to actually be on Saturday a little bit.
11 a.m. Eastern.
A couple months ago. But yeah, Sunday brunch, guys. If you're too hungry and want to try Cajun food, stop by at Glamma's house.
Ella in the house. Say it here first.
We got Jeff Doris in the house. Johnny, Jeff, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by, man. By the way, guys, I was also on Jeff's live. It was my first appearance. Actually, my first appearance, it was on, I actually forgot where I was on my first appearance on the live after the.
Wasn't that on Paul Philly Flipper?
It was not on Paul's. I will remember, I'll let you know, guys, because I already forgot. Because my memory, when I was in 2021, my memory at least was a little bit better. Now it's kind of, I think, went away. So I need to remember. But Jeff, by the way, who was eBay Addict before, invited me to his live as a guest. So Jeff, I still appreciate you, man, for doing that. To jumpstart my magical world career on YouTube.
Was that where he was doing the interviews from his car?
Actually, when I was on his live, it was he was not doing it from the car. It was I think it was just he was in his place and I was here.
I got the ability several times to be on his show on a guest where I was getting interviewed from his car. I loved it.
Yeah, Jeff actually is an amazing guy, and Jeff done so many interviews with so many personalities throughout the time also, which is amazing. Back in the days, if you guys remember, Jeff was doing his lives and interviews every week. And Jeff still does it, actually. I think Jeff doesn't do it as much, but he still does it. Got Chad in the house, Wolfman's Goodies. Chad, appreciate you as always, my friend. Stopping by today. Howdy, y'all. Jeff, appreciate you stopping by, man.
Welcome.
And so, Johnny, what would you say in your experience when you were still in Louisiana and trying, I mean, you did reselling there, of course, also. What's the difference, would you say, in terms of sourcing from comparing Louisiana and right now Massachusetts? Was it a big difference for you in sourcing?
Well, now that I'm doing it more than in Louisiana, when I would go to Louisiana, more of that was more of me. I've always been buying things on clearance, and I always call it clearance because for me, I don't feel like I should pay the full price of anything. So regardless of where I go, but I grew up with my parents. We wasn't rich, we wasn't poor, but we were just enough to where we were trying to make it check to check. And we would always go like to the thrift stores, Salvation Army, what's that other one? St. Vincent de Paul. And we always looked at used clothes anyway, as long as it was in good condition. We really didn't buy anything brand new right off the rack. So for me, it's the same concept, but I find it's better up here than in the South, because back in the South, depending on what day of the week you may go in there and you may get a good deal on certain things. I find that it was a lot of trash that was just donated because people just wanted to get rid of their stuff. Whereas up here, it's more selective. But again, now that I'm sourcing the way I am now, I am very selective of what I'm sourcing now compared to when I first started 5 years ago. And that you have to, because I have a big inventory that I've been listing. But again, I'm also, depending on what platform I put it on, I'll put it in the antique boots. I have 2 of those. So it depends on where I'm putting it at. So I'm very selective now, but I find it's a better selection up here than it was in Louisiana. Price-wise too.
And the prices have changed also throughout the years. So
yes.
Back in the day, guys, if you remember, I think everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
from 5 years ago to today, it's like night and day. You cannot
Yep.
even compare thrift store prices to what they are right now.
No, not with everything going up today these days.
Exactly. It was much different, as you guys all know about it. And we got Mike in the house, Fartech Jack. Hey, you guys. Johnny, Roman, Lisa, Scotty, everyone. Mike, thanks for stopping by, my friend. As you guys know, Mike was our guest about 3 weeks ago. So, Mike, really appreciate you always, man. We got Chad with a super chat. Chad, we really appreciate it, man, as always. Chad always comes in with a super chat for us and really means a lot for us. Zero sales here. Everyone is on vacation. Great show. so zero sales, guys, is still not bad. I can tell you one thing, but it will improve. Like on flipping ain't easy, guys. When John and Jenna do their live, if someone complains about those sales, they say it will improve. Just wait.
Well, hit the thumbs up to get your sale in 24 hours. Come on,
Yeah,
everybody.
you hit the like
Hit the
button like
thumbs.
on John and Jenna's Flipping and Easy Life, you're gonna get some sales. So Chad, hit the like button, man. You will get -1 sale instead of one.
Well, and
We got,
everybody else could hit it too. That'd be nice. Thank you.
we got beautiful Ella in the house, and I always say Ella is my mom's name is Ella, so
Aw.
kind of always association with Ella. My mom's name is Ella, so Eleanor. So, but my mom likes to be called Eleanor instead of Ella, but her short name is Ella. So, Ella, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. So Johnny, what type of inventory would you say when you were still in Louisiana? What type of stuff were you originally selling? What was kind of the things that you were into before?
That's just that I wasn't doing it in Louisiana. I didn't do it until I moved up here. But when I went to purge the house, anything that I had that did not get open, it was still sealed. That was my game plan from when I first started. I wanted everything to be new sealed. So I basically just did my inventory by purging the house, putting them in boxes, labeling them that it was going to be in the basement for eBay, for inventory. That way I knew when I got moved up here that I can just, the movers would put it in the right room that I wanted it. And so I wasn't reselling in Louisiana. Again, I did like buy storage units and sell them like on Facebook Marketplace, but I didn't get into eBay. I was always buying stuff off of eBay, but not as heavy as I am now. But I didn't start until I moved up here. I did not do any of the reselling online until up here. Hello, Jill. Welcome.
Jill, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. And Ken also appreciate SSK Promo DOG. Always in
But
the
the
house.
products that I was doing was more hard goods when I first started. Because when I bought these storage units and like the furniture, the first thing I did was I'd go on Facebook Marketplace and I would list them there, or Craigslist at the time, and sell them there. But it was more of they had to come to the storage unit to pick it up. But other than that, everything that I started with was all hard goods. And I also had crates of Barbie dolls that was from some vintage ones that I found in the units. So that was like my start of my inventory when I moved up here. But I had a cleaning company and a quilting company that I had in Louisiana. I didn't do reselling back then until I moved here.
Interesting. Yeah. So now at least I will remember that, guys. At least Johnny helped me to remember something at least, so I can remember next time Johnny will be a guest. I don't have to ask.
That's right.
Guys, I have to always remember that Duncan said that he wants Lisa's OnlyFans account, not mine. I feel kind of sad.
It could be
Feel kind
both
of
of
sad,
ours.
Duncan. I was ready to give you my OnlyFans. Now you ruined everything. So sorry. I will have to go cry that nobody wants to see my OnlyFans. So that's the only person I was relying on was Duncan VR, guys. So now I lost all of that. So unfortunately, but yeah, Johnny. So what is your opinion, Johnny, on YouTube? Like obstacles with YouTube for like yourself when you were starting out originally, and what would you say currently? Whoever comes into YouTube magical world, as I always say, in terms of reselling community or category, do you see differences right now when you were starting out your YouTube channel and currently with people who are trying to do that?
When I first started, when I first thought about doing YouTube, I would go in and watch a lot of channels. Robert basically showed me how to find certain. Let me just start over. He actually like, okay, you might want to try to watch this person and this person. And then once he would, when I was packing the house and he was up here already working, I would also start watching other channels. So I started venturing out. For me, when I first started, I wouldn't say nothing in the chats. I was like with a person when you go to church for the first time and you sit in, you find a church and you would have sitting there and where you sit. I sit in the back. You know, I want to be way in the back. I want to see what's going on. So me, that was like the chats. I would only be watching the chat, but not saying anything at first. But for me, then I started getting comfortable asking questions. When I started asking questions, the thing that always got me was there was a lot of questions that never got answered. So the host that was doing the show, they were talking amongst themselves, but I wasn't getting my answers to my questions in the chat. So then I started backing out, watching different channels. And so I said, if I ever do YouTube, my goal is to always keep up on the chat, answer every question as I can. And I noticed that since I started, like I use StreamYard, my first live, I did my first video on November 28th, which was Thanksgiving Day 2019. And you could tell I was reading off of a script, which is fine. But I do go back and watch all my videos to learn from those mistakes. But now we have a lot of the bigger things like short videos. You have all this stuff with AI. You have all these different genres. You have all these different communities. And so for me, the difference is back then I was still learning and how to do things and try to edit. And I always tell people when you first start off, start with what you have. Don't go buy don't be like some other big channel that's got all the fancy equipment and the mics and the cameras and the lights and all this stuff. Use what you have in case if you're not really getting into doing YouTube, because it's got to be someone with a hard skin, thick skin, because there's a lot that's going to go on. A lot of people are going to start bullying you, belittle you, and you got to be the tougher person. So for me, when I first started compared to now, I've learned a lot. Granted, I lost my channel twice, but I got it all back. But the second time was actually where I didn't realize that when you lose a channel, you have to get that one back before you start a new one. They don't want you to start another channel right up when you do that. And that's what I did. So that's how I lost the second time. But the first time was just like right here where you're highlighting a comment. And it just so happened that somebody had an avatar that was not appropriate. And I got reported.
Right. And I remember when this happened.
That was the hardest one because that was after I just got monetized. And that was like a little bit after my first 2 years. It took me 2 years and 5 months to get monetized on that one. And that was a lot of work. And that was the 1,000 and 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So I already had my watch hours, so I wasn't worried about that. But the longer and more you put your work into it, the harder it is for you to try not to listen to others in a sense of the bullying and the belittling, and don't let that get to you, because there's going to be haters, and I guarantee you I have them, but I kill them with kindness, and that's just me. That's the southern boy in me.
That's
I've always
actually
been that way.
that shows a great personality in you, Johnny.
Yep.
And like I said
Yep.
originally, that you, helped so many channels to just start up their kind of journey and bring them on the scene in your lives, for them to introduce themselves to the community and help them with advice if they need advice. And you do it every time on your live. So we already talked about
And if
it.
anybody wants to know what actually happened the first time on this channel that I have now, that the one I got back also, if you go back, it was the New England Cajun Roots. The very first video I put up was don't let this happen to you. And don't let this happen to you if you do lives. One of the things that stuck out to me, I've been fighting. I fought it for 2 years and 3 months, and I got them all back, but I didn't stop. Was somebody made a comment, and now mind you, I wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I start my day early. And some people are live at night, and a lot of times I'm just watching and listening. And the funny thing is, there was one person there was a couple that was on a live that said this, that they were glad to see my channel go, and he'll never get it back because he's a growth channel. Look at me now.
Yeah, there you go, guys. There you go. Look at me now. See, Johnny has prevailed numerous times, guys.
But again, I don't look at my channel as a growth channel. I'm more of helping people learning what they need to do. If they come in my chat and say, I haven't started a video yet, I'm going to cling on to them and help them as much as I can to give them that. And I want those questions. And a lot of people say that they're afraid to ask those questions. Well, for me, I want to hear them. I want those questions because I answer them every morning as much as I can. And if I don't know it, I'm going to research it. That's just the way I do it.
That's actually right. And you've
Dragon
done,
Master, hello.
and you've done the great job. I mean, great job about doing that type of stuff. And people who come to your lives every day and ask questions, you always on point, answering in a timely manner, not like me, which is good.
And another thing too is I turn a lot of
Yes.
those, turn those into a lot of how-to videos. Because there's somebody, and when I do a how-to video, it's step by step. I'll never forget the very first video I ever watched on how to do something. It went from step one to step 3, and it's like, where's 2? What happened in the middle? So I always said to myself, if I'm going to do any type of how-to videos, it's going to be step by step, and that's what I do.
And actually, guys, Johnny made amazing video about StreamYard, by the way, using StreamYard, going live, which
It's
I
part
watched.
1 and part 2, and I'm getting part 3 coming out soon.
See, there you go. If you go back into Johnny's videos history, you're gonna find it, and you can watch it. It actually shows very good stuff and explains it clearly. Johnny is good at explaining stuff, guys. There's, sometimes you will get content creators in their videos trying to kind of teach their audience something and show stuff, explain it. And there are a few that done amazing job, that I watch and I enjoy that. And Johnny is one of them. Johnny's explanations in lives and videos that he has done, those are just great, clear to the point, explained very good. And if you need some kind of question, John, you can always reach out to Johnny on Instagram. And he'll
Duncan has a question. That's all I'm going to say is I have a how-to playlist for that as well.
That's
how-to videos on there.
And Duncan is complaining again. This guy again. He said, "I hit the like button, never got a sale." Duncan, sorry, man. You will get a refund when I catch up to a comment. So wait about a year. Duncan, I'll get to your comment in a year, so you'll get a refund next year. When
I used to do when I used to do guests on my morning show, it was great to do. Somebody had just recently asked me about that. So I may be bringing that back because it's by popular demand that people are wanting to see that. So,
yeah, a lot of and you got your audience all the time, and you got new people in your lives almost every time. I think that you see new people in your chat and stuff like that. That actually comes there and learns stuff.
On per show, on average of 4 to 5 new people a show.
That's great. That's good. That's a good thing, guys. See, that's when that Johnny has done amazing job, about it, and people talk about it and recommend Johnny's channel is to watch in the mornings and his content. That's amazing. Great job, Johnny, about it. And when you said, do you know, like, Johnny, would you answer that kind of question if possible? Is YouTube, do you think is YouTube like content creation? Is it for everyone, or you think there are people who try it and then you kind of see them not trying it ever again? Do you think it's something that is, in your opinion, more complicated to accomplish certain things depending on what you're trying to get accomplished from?
Well, YouTube is not going to be for everyone, just like Twitter. It's not for everyone. But you have to feel comfortable. And again, like I was saying to you early in the back room before we started, a lot of people, and I think I said it at the beginning of the show, a lot of people are afraid to show their face. That's okay. Because now you see a lot of content creators who are not showing their face and they're doing extremely well. So don't be afraid because you don't want to show your face that you don't want to do content. But you also have to make sure you feel confident. I tell this tip to everyone who asks me about it because they're nervous about getting started. Again, be consistent. Keep putting out a content of some kind or go live. It's up to you. But what I tell everyone when they first start, get a picture of someone that's your loved one, your grandparents, your godparents, your children, your fur babies, whoever. And for you to get comfortable behind that camera filming, or going live, stick that picture right under where that camera is that you're using, and make that your focal point, like you're looking at the camera, but you're actually looking at the picture that's right underneath that camera. And when you're doing that, that's going to make you feel comfortable enough to where you're going to be talking to that picture, which I know is a little psycho, but it's good because now you're not concentrating on that camera. You're concentrating on that and focusing on that picture of your loved one, which helps you get your nerves down. And so far, it seems to be working when I tell that tip to everyone who's starting out. But YouTube is not for everybody. But what I always say is start with even a short video, 10, 15 minutes at the most, or even less than 10 minutes. But get yourself used to the camera. Now, there's a lot of people that tell, do a video if you have to, but don't record it. Don't put it up on your channel if you have to. Because if you don't think it's good enough, you'll be surprised. Because I started lately where I've been doing videos where I'm not cutting out the bloopers. I'm leaving them in there. And I'm getting more traction on those type of videos than me cutting out everything. And I do that's all, folks, or something weird off the wall thing, and I'm leaving it in there because it seems to be people liking it. But again, it'll be 5 years in November that I've been doing this. And at the beginning, you can tell my videos, I was nervous. Yes, I was. But you have to keep doing it, be consistent, and it will come natural to you. That's one of the things I want to give as a tip. Be natural, be yourself, be authentic, because if you don't, it'll show in your videos.
Exactly, that's true. That's been said many times before, guys, by the way, which is Johnny's greatest great points, which have been already repeated many times over and over again, which has been already kind of a staple of a YouTube content creation, is to be yourself and not to be someone else and trying to be someone else that you're not, which is not authentic at all. And that's
And to
when
be consistent, though, even if you don't have time to do videos on a regular basis, say you have a weekend off and you're not doing anything, you're sitting around the house, bank those, get those done and bank them, put them in your YouTube channel where you can actually set the date and time for it to be released. Because last week when I went on vacation, I actually had a video done a week ahead of time for last Monday, this past Monday, for bingo, because that way I already had it done. It went out at the same time my bingo usually goes live because I went on vacation. I still did the morning show, but that was it. But I had that video ready a week in advance, recorded it, put it together, and had it set for the 4:30 on this past Monday. And it was the number one of the top 10 videos for the whole week that I put that video out.
See, there you go, guys. Another great advice. Let me say hello to Anthony. Dragon Masters Finds in the house. Anthony, welcome. We got Devon Short. Devon, welcome. Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you guys just coming in, we got the New England Cajun Roots reseller Johnny in the house. And you guys, most of you in the community are familiar with Johnny. Johnny has been a guest on a lot of podcast lives throughout the years. So with a lot of great advices and answering a lot of questions, not just about reselling and YouTube, but other things. So Johnny is knowledgeable, guys, as you know. And his lives in the morning, guys, I think a staple already in the community and has helped a lot of people. You know, I think, Johnny, you've already kind of, I would say, blessed a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, in my opinion, and it's great. And
That's my goal. That is my goal.
Keep doing it every day shows a tremendous consistency and helping people out, bringing people on, and not a lot of people do that, Johnny. I can tell you that you're unique in the community. You're unique in that regard. It's I cannot just think of my head to who I can compare you to at all. So and everyone in the community, I really appreciate it, Johnny. I'm pretty sure. And like you said, there are gonna be people who hate you, which you cannot escape. There's gonna be people who love you, and of course, that's like with not just reselling. It's with all types of other categories where content creators come in. Not just on YouTube, you can have channel, you can have videos on TikTok and Instagram, everywhere, and you're gonna have haters, and that comes with the baggage of trying to accomplish something on social media.
Well, also I have for the community, not only for the reselling community, but also for the coin community, and the crafters community, where I do a community public calendar. If you go to my community tab on my channel, you will see that there's a calendar that I update every month, every day that you have to add something. If anybody has a regular live show you do on a regular basis, and all the times that you see on that calendar are Eastern Standard Time, because that's where I'm at, I will put your names on your channel name on the calendar. And if you want to see who's live and when, go check it out. There's a lot of names on every day, including the weekends. And if you're a regular on my channel, you also you get a birthday shout out. It's on the calendar. I need to update my farm now because there was a great question, a statement saying I should put their birth dates on the farm. So that way they do put their birth date, I can put it on the calendar. And I do that shout out every morning. I do a calendar shout out for everybody who's on the calendar, their time, their time, the name of their show and their channel. And that's something that I do every day. And if anybody's going live, like right after me at 9, we do a raid, whether it be Scott, the Silver Stacker, or Queen City Picker, or Bearded Picker, because they're right after me. I promote it. Let's raid them, and that's what I do. And no matter who's gone live after me, and I say after me because I'm on from 8 to 9 usually. But if the comments are coming in, the questions are coming in, I keep going until there's no more. So I don't just shut it right after an hour. And I love it. So that community tab's for everybody to view, because we got the coin community on there, we got the crafters community, and the reselling community.
And also, you promote a lot of auctions that are happening throughout the community. A lot of content creators who do their live auctions on YouTube. So all of that is promoted on Johnny's lives almost every day, guys. When Johnny does his live in the morning, so that's amazing, and shows a lot tremendous support. So. And like I said, you've been like a staple, in my opinion, of the community already for since when you started out in 2019. So it's kind of already been 5 years. Or was my
reselling will be 25 years, July the 24th, and then it'll be 5 years, November 28th, that I've been doing YouTube.
Right. See, there you go, guys. And for 5 years, guys, to be so consistent with tremendous support and promoting channels, bringing people on. That's amazing, Johnny. You've done an amazing job. And Scott, Bearded Picker, said that he went to sales today for 7 hours. I did go today for 5 hours. And basically, guys, I can tell you, I actually will put out a video about this particular community sale, and you guys will see it.
That is right, Harry.
And Harry, actually, there you go. It's actually correct. Absolutely a tremendous statement. It's the only person that gets kicked off YouTube and comes back stronger. Than there you go. Yeah, that's a great example right there, guys. What you can do if you want to really accomplish things. See, there you go. To be consistent and be strong, no matter what. Come back with a vengeance. Johnny's reselling course, $6,000, 999 cents.
That's fake, y'all. Don't buy from him. Don't buy from him. That's fake. Mine's free. Membership only.
Guys, Duncan will be selling this course on Whatnot. Starting bid $7,000 later tonight. And
warning, black market.
Johnny, Duncan also wants to know, how do you list an item on eBay? See, there you go. Duncan wants to know a lot of stuff. Duncan,
I do have a how-to. I have a how-to playlist of how-to videos to do that, and including you can do it on your phone. I have a video for that too.
Yeah, and Anthony was saying that he's not awake. Anthony, that's kind of normal thing for me either. Like, also, I'm never awake, so that's kind of something that's normal. And he says, I can barely read the chat. Now I'm gonna go find something to eat while Roman tries to talk over another YouTuber talk show. That's exactly, absolutely right. Anthony, if you're still listening, man, I'm gonna try to talk over you also while you eat. See, there you go. So Johnny, what is your schedule in terms of sourcing? Do you usually have set up schedule where you source on specific days and or list on specific days? Do you have like set schedule for your reselling?
It's an everyday occurrence for me. If I'm out, I see a garage sale. My car has this automatic turning device that goes right into the driveway, going to that direction. If I'm out and there's no specific days, if I'm out about doing errands and I just happen to pass in front of a thrift store that I never really frequent, I try to go to like a lot of the mom and pop type stores, but none of the big name ones. box stores. But I don't have any set time. And a lot of times now, don't get me wrong, it's not about just going out sourcing. I've bought out eBay stores from resellers. I've bought personal bulk buys from people throughout YouTube that I do a personal buy. I'll do online auctions like Remax, Max Sold. That's another one of the places that I use here locally to purchase bulk items. I'll even do personal bulk items from other people in the back rooms. Like if I hear they want to try to sell things and they get my attention, and then we basically do a show and tell behind the scenes like this, like after a show's over, I'll do personal bulk buys. But I don't always have to go through these because I'm noticing that around up here, we have a Savers, which is a good place to go to now and then. Goodwill has gotten outrageous with their prices. So I don't go to regular Goodwills no more. The Ben's has gone up on their price on per pound, so I don't go there no more. So I'm very selective of when I go. Like when I'm traveling, like we just got back on vacation, I did go through a couple of local places there. They had different like mom and pop, and I say mom and pop because it was like local stores that were not like the big box stores. We went to a couple of Goodwills. Their prices were really high. I didn't find anything at any of the Goodwills that I was even thinking about reselling because the prices were too high. You couldn't make any money. I noticed that one of the things I have noticed about Goodwill in Virginia and Delaware and Baltimore, all of their Goodwills had a set price now. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it was Thursday I talked about Goodwill has these new frequent cards where if you spend $15 or more, you get your card punch. After the fourth one, you get 20% off of your purchase as long as it's over $20. I didn't even know they did that. But again, that's not going to get me always back into Goodwill because their prices are all set now. It's not like each item priced anymore that I've noticed. It's like all shirts, $5.25, all jackets, $5, or shorts, $3. It's all like a set price on everything now. So again, you still got to be selective with that as well. So I try to stay away from those. I did go to another place, the Children's Hospital or Children's, trying to remember the name of it. Children's Hospital. How about I just go to the picture, JJ?
Is that like
Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters thrift store? And like if you go on a Tuesday, they had 25% off, and it was still prices that were reasonable. Like I bought a lot of Nintendos, Xboxes for like $2.98 a piece, and they were complete in good condition. But also when you get to the checkout, you get 25% off. So I still bought a little bit of things from them. Like I also picked up a Fossil purse for under $12, and they're selling for $60, and it had the key charm on it as well, and it was an actual Fossil purse. So again, I do when I'm sourcing, I just go whenever. There is no set time. With listing on my eBay store or any platform, I work on the weekends getting all my pictures done, and then I list every day. Now, when I wake up between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, my first thing is all emails, check out any messages I got. Then I'm going online and I'm doing my listings. My listings I do them on the phone first to start the listing, draft it, and then take pictures. But I complete it on the computer. That way I can go back and make sure I got all blocks checked off, make sure I got all the T's dotted and I's dotted. Because that way when I go live, I know my pictures and everything are good. Then I'll go ahead and list it. And I don't have a set listing anymore of what I used to do. When I first started, my goal was 40 to 50 a day. But my goal, like each year, because at the first time, I was trying to get over 500 listings when I first started. Then the next year, because I wanted to get ready for Q4, I had 1,000 listings. And now I'm trying to keep over 2,000. But the more sales I get, the more work I got to do. But that's fine because that's a good problem to have. I have no problem with that, so I list every day. But I don't have any set times to set up for sourcing. I got enough inventory. But if I'm outsourcing, I'm not going to stop myself from going. But I will be very selective of what I buy.
Exactly. That's what happens throughout with experience. You become selective.
Well, when I first started, like everybody, you're going to buy almost everything you can to resell. But then you got to slow down a little bit because, like, okay, now I'm sitting on this inventory. They call it a dead pile. I call it just a non-listing, ready to go kind of thing. It's just inventory, and I put everything in boxes. But yeah, you got to get things listed.
And I think you keep all your inventory in your house, right? Or you have like a
Yes, I have the full everything's in the basement. I have all my closets are cedar closets down here, and that's how it was when we bought the house. The house was built in the 70s, but in the basement I have a closet that's across it. It has all Christmas, holidays, Barbies, outdoor stuff, and things like that, and wrestling figures. My other closet is it's a double walk-in closet. That's all inventory like puzzles, games, action figures, electronics, puzzles, you name it. And so, yes, everything's listed are all in closets ready to go in crates. My inventory system is all by categories. Like all my plush are in a crate, in a tote. I have the larger ones in a large blue tote, and then I have the smaller ones in a smaller blue tote. But I can go directly to and tell you exactly where everything's at. And with my jewelry, I have a big floor model jewelry box that all listed jewelry is in those boxes. So yeah,
very good. That's a good setup.
Be organized.
You're good with a lot of things. See, that's the thing about you. You've done proper inventory setup, YouTube, social media. So that's actually how supposed to be, in a normal situation. Not like this self-proclaimed unprofessional reseller life. We're gonna complain to YouTube about this life, guys. Ben already wrote like a bunch of letters to take us out. Ben was like concerned on his locker room podcast that how the hell we are doing what we're doing. And he's not happy, guys.
And then, like I tell everybody too, when you first start out, again, I was all over the board. I'm one of those that start here, sidetrack, do this, and a squirrel moment do that. Where I had to stop that because I wasn't getting everything I wanted done for that morning or that day. So what I started doing to myself is making myself a time blocking, like a day of the calendar. And then I would take and block it out. Like if I wake up at 2:00 in the morning, I want to get this done in the first hour, this done and this done. And by the time I go live, all that's done, got my live show, and then I'm just ready to go to the post office. Because I go to the post office every day. It takes me 2 minutes to get there. That's my outing for the day, unless I'm going doing errands and stuff. So I do a time block system where I had to start doing that to get myself in that routine. Once you get yourself in that routine on a time block, everything comes natural. But It's to program yourself to do that on a daily basis.
Right, that's good. That's important also, guys. See, Johnny can preach a lot of amazing stuff, guys. That's why we love Johnny. That's why he is appearing on a lot of lives.
Like Duncan said, that is a smart listing method. Again, set your goal, and I always talk about goals too on the morning show. Set your goals to what you want for the year. Divide that by 365, then you know what your goal is going to be for the day. But if you want to go by, say, what you want, take your goal for the year, divide it by the months. That'll be your goal for each month. So then you're going to downsize that because, again, you're looking at the bigger picture. So that's going to make you a little, oh, my God, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. But you can. Start with the year, divide it by 12. That's your month. Take that month for each day of the month that's in there. You divide that by how much you need to do for a day. Now, allow yourself time for yourself. If you're working by yourself, you're doing this full time, make sure you stop and get yourself a break, walk away, get yourself a snack break, walk around, go do whatever you got to do. Take a lunch because that way you can I'm getting all tongue-tied. Juice yourself back up into energy so you can get back to work properly. Because if you get yourself burnt out, just like on YouTube, you see a lot of people get burnt out on YouTube. Well, they always ask me, I'm getting a lot of questions like, well, why you do this every day? Well, notice I don't do it on the weekends, except for if I'm a guest. But you have to set that boundary and that time for yourself so you don't get burnt out. And that's how I do it. I don't do shows on the weekends, but I will be guest on shows because to me, that's just a spot that I'm there to be part of it. I don't mind that. But to do an actual live and do all the controls and people are wondering, how do I keep up with the chat? To me, it's easy, but I've been doing it for almost 5 years. But you got to program yourself for that. So don't think that you want to be like somebody else and you're trying to do that. Be yourself. Make sure you control what you're doing and make sure you don't get burnt out.
That's another great point, guys, from Johnny. Johnny can write down big book, guys, of the great points, and then Duncan can sell it on whatnot, guys. Duncan, by the way, you're absolutely right, man. If they hit the like on your show, do they get 3 insta sales plus no sale, then refund in 3 years? Duncan is gonna be in 10 years, so you can wait.
Actually, Duncan, you have to show up, which I haven't seen you in a couple of years. You do have to show up and hit the thumbs up to be even thought about giving you a refund. Yeah, that would work.
Duncan, unfortunately, by the way, let me say a big hello to the disgruntled octopus in the house, guys.
Yes, I saw that.
It was an amazing inspiration last weekend, guys, for me to become a shark. So all the humans on the planet Earth say hello to the disgruntled octopus. He has arrived. Octopus, thanks for stopping by, man. It was great life. We appreciate you
I met
being
him
our
up
guest
through Granny.
last week, and hopefully, yeah, Grumpy Granny Leanne feeling better. Andy Someta, guys, I forgot to say hi to Andy. Andy, welcome. One
Hey,
of our
Andy.
great friends of the community that always supports everyone. Also, Andy, we really appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Johnny, do you like any type of specific products that bring you joy when you sell them? Or right now, a lot of stuff that can bring you profit brings you joy anyway? Or there is something specific? Like there is always saying, Johnny, if you don't enjoy what you're trying to sell, it's also not a good thing. You know, at least whenever you like some kind of product that you want to resell and try to source for it, people talk about it sometimes, even on in their content on YouTube or lives or podcasts. If something doesn't bring you joy, why do you keep doing it? Or is there something that brings you joy, specific items that you like to sell? What are those for yourself?
Anything that I buy low and sell for a profit is good for me. I enjoy doing it all. I enjoy the listing. I enjoy the picking, the sourcing, and then I love the pictures, and then I love the sales. I love to pack. I pack my packages like I would want them to come to me. So I take that little extra to fold and make sure all the things are packed right. So when I'm sending packages out, I'm like I want it to be like this when I get it. So I love doing all that. I enjoy the whole process. But when it comes to reselling anything, there is no one piece except for like maybe a jewelry that's vintage. And then I'm giving it out and taking it out of the landfills and giving it to someone else. Or I get the joy when somebody sends that message to me saying, I just last year for Christmas, I had a lady who sent me a message. She had purchased a Christmas ornament that I had from Hallmark, and I do love a lot of Hallmark ornaments. And she said, "Well, I want to thank you for," and I gave her an offer. I do a lot of sending offers a lot, and she said that made her day because her dad had passed away in this particular year for last year. Her dad was not around to get her the year of a specific thing that she collects, and I just happened to have it on my platform. And she said that that would be the last one. That she was going to try to continue that tradition that her dad would give her a specific ornament from Hallmark every year. And so she just happened to see the one I had that she wanted, and she thanked me for not only giving her a discount or giving her that offer, but it gave her a collection of what she was going to get, even though it's not from physically from her dad, is the mental thing about getting that item. And so I love getting those type of messages. And again, I'm always sending out offers. And I don't mind doing that. Now, if somebody sends me an offer, for example, I just sold something yesterday, and I don't talk about through the shows of what I sell, because every Friday I do, would you buy it or would you leave it? And so that's why I don't talk about a lot of things I sell for that week, because it goes on to that show. And then some people send me links, but I enjoy everything that I know that I'm going to source, that it can save from the landfill, that someone else is going to enjoy. And I look at it this way. Most of the people are buying their childhood or their memories to replace something, whether by earthquakes or hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, whatever, fire. They're replacing their childhood, or they're replacing their childhood memories. So that's why I don't mind, and I love it. I love it all.
That's great. That's
I don't love what you're doing.
You gotta love what you're doing, Johnny. See, that was everything, not just reselling. And you
That's
enjoy
right.
it. That's amazing that you enjoy the stuff, and you bring joy to a lot of people in the community. And that's amazing that you keep doing it. And we, like I said, we appreciate you for that always. And let me say hello to the Ephemera Junkie. Greetings and salutations. Very familiar comment for us, and for me and Lisa on the live from the Big Bro Auctions.
It's
Yes,
Big Bro.
the ephemera junk is Big Bro, guys. If you're not familiar, and
Big Bro's in the chat too.
yeah, and a Big Bro
Yeah,
options also.
he's switching
Yeah,
between.
but
Yeah.
it's we kind of will recognize Big Bro now as an ephemera junkie. So Big Bro, sorry, you now became an ephemera junkie. So there you go. And I enjoy Big Bro's Instagram posts from auctions. Johnny, do you go to auctions like Big Bro to source for inventory at the auctions?
You
Auction
talking about
house?
online?
He goes actually to physical auctions. He
Yeah,
actually
I've done that. I've done it before. Yeah.
do you enjoy those?
I like them, but I do the ones that are online as well because of online. I can see the pictures. I ain't got to deal with the crowd. Whereas with it online, I see the pictures. I know what I'm getting if I wanted to bid on it. But again, I use Max Sold a lot for online auctions. And yeah, I don't mind going to auctions that way, but I don't tend to like those as much as I do online.
That's actually, yeah, that's one of the sourcing methods that is great, in my opinion. If you have a good auction house near you guys, that's a good experience to have. If you can go
Now
and
they have one. We never know if they're open or closed because they're supposed to be closed. Now they back open. So I don't know. I want to look it up because they do have a local auction house. It's 2 towns over from me, but I need to go back and see if there are.
And Lori Happy Picker brought out great point in terms of mom and pops thrift stores or shops,
Yeah.
which are of course much better than big chain thrift stores like Goodwill,
Right.
Salvation Army, or Savers. And it is a great point actually. If you have an opportunity in your area or you have a thrift store like that, you can actually get good deals there compared to those.
Well, I also tend to shop at like the thrift stores that I find. I found one in it's a major town not that far from us. And what it is that they all the profits that the proceeds that they make go to help homeless children or the homeless community. But it's they have their own little thing that they have to feed the people. They have a little kitchenette that they do the kitchen to serve food to people that need it. And so I don't mind buying from them because I know where that's going. Whereas with these big box stores, you're supporting them. You're not supporting the mom and pop. And that's why I love the little mom and pop shops.
That is absolutely a true statement, Johnny. And that's why those types of stores, they actually, their mission is different compared to Goodwill or other those big chain, I call them big chain thrift stores, because their mission is not going to be towards the resellers. And you know, guys, it is true actually, because they don't care about resellers. They're just doing their own business.
And then there's a shop we found in Connecticut that basically does the homeless battered women's shelters, where everything that they make goes to that program. And so any chance we get to go to that one in Connecticut, I don't mind going there either, because then I know that's going to a good cause.
That's true. Let me say hello to beautiful Nicola Presto in the house. Nicole, welcome. Appreciate you.
Hello, Nicole.
Stopping by very much. And Anthony saying it's all right, Roman. I hit the report button every time you make a video. Thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate it. That's why I get those constant emails from YouTube and I don't read them. That's I've been getting them already for 3 months nonstop. They're complaining constantly about this content and something about FCC and Federal Trade Commission. I don't know, Anthony. You gotten them kind of worried. And Mr. Sedi said that something about KGB content, which is actually also true, Mr. Sedi. I really appreciate you pointing that out. I need to start making those types of videos, guys, about KGB. Maybe it's gonna improve something in reselling. Johnny, do you usually try to, I would say, like one platform over like other platforms? Do you try to cross list all the stuff everywhere, or you try to concentrate on one platform more compared to other platforms?
Okay, you froze up for a minute there. What was the question?
Do you try to concentrate mostly on one platform in terms of like eBay maybe compared to all other platforms? Do you usually try to cross list to like everything you got in your inventory to other platforms, or you just do specific things with
Okay,
other?
when I list, I already know when I'm listing a specific item, it's going to go to that particular platform. Now I do cross post with Flip, And again, everything that I promote, I always make sure to, if I'm using a product that I like, I share it out and also get an affiliate link, and it's in all my descriptions and all my links for my channel. But with Flip, I select what items, because I list everything on, no matter what platform I list it on. I list it on the platform I want first, and then I cross post it. When I first started, I still do this to this day though. These little sticky notes, I might cross post it, but I take that item and I put on the sticky note, listed on eBay and Posh, or eBay, Posh and Macari, or Bonanza, because I still list on Bonanza. But with Bonanza, it automatically takes it off. So I don't really worry too much about Bonanza. But any platform, I'm going to list it, and this is going with that item. Because I take everything and put it in a suffocation bag, but I don't seal it. So this is going to let me know if I pick it and sell, and I pull it, and it's going to tell me, go take it off of Etsy, go take it off of Posh, or if it's sold to whatever platform, I'm taking it off of the other platform. Whereas if I sell something, like every day I sell, I take it and go back and check and see, because now that I'm doing the cross post with Flip, I don't have those as much, because I already know I'm going to go there. If it's there, it's going to tell me what platforms I have it on, and I go delete them. Or if I have multiples, I'll leave it, because I do have a lot of multiples of items. So I'll go ahead and check each one. If I have multiples, I'm good. I'm going to leave it. But for me, yes, Bonanza still exists, and I still sell at least twice a week, every week on Bonanza. It does work.
Yeah, guys.
And then with Flip, I like it because I'm getting that extra thing with Posh where, yes, I know people are saying, oh my God, they're going to charge you $9 a month now. That's okay, because that's all they charge me. And guess what? I can still have it sharing my Posh closet, taking and accepting offers or sending offers to those that are liking the item or watching the item automatically. I don't have to sit there physically and do it. So for $9 a month, I don't mind paying it. I know some people use other programs, but for me, for $9, I love it. And it hasn't steered me wrong. So I love using the program. And I just make sure to be mindful of whatever I'm selling. If it sells, go check real quick to make sure you don't make that mistake and sell it on another platform. Then you only have one of, then you got to make sure you don't get dinged for it. So I do that automatically.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, that's actually good points, guys, by the way. That's one of the best points also, guys, from Johnny, that you can implement all of the stuff that Johnny always talks about in your business. And of course, everyone has their own business models. We understand that, but a lot of great points,
And that's a good statement, though, because you got to remember, something that may work for me may not work for someone else. So I'm not pushing products to anybody, but I will suggest it. But if you have a question about a particular platform, I don't mind helping you. But don't, and this is just something that's stuck in my mind ever since I was a kid. Like my grandmother always said, don't say don't like something unless you don't try it. So I always make sure to try it. If I like it, I will promote it. If it's something that I'm not liking, I'm not going to promote something I'm not using or liking. But if it's something that's easy, functional, doing what I want it to do, then yeah, I'll share it out.
That's great. Yes, that's actually true. Let me say hello to Big Bro Auctions. Officially, greetings and salutations. And Big Bro guys doing his live auctions, by the way, on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, if I'm correct, Lisa. I always forget the time, but
7 Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern, guys. Big Bro Auctions does his live auctions on YouTube, and also Wednesday, I think. So
Tuesdays
or Tuesdays, yeah.
At 7
p.m. See, Lisa actually knows much more than this unprofessional reseller host.
One of us has got to hold this stuff down.
You're right, girl.
Grams and Pops Vintage, Corey and Teresa in the house, guys. Welcome, appreciate you stopping by. Phil 5 Dime in the house. Phil, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. The middleman David in the house. David, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Johnny, do you like to watch any other content on YouTube except reselling? What would you say your favorite type of content on YouTube is? Except
believe it or not, I do watch a lot of other content. When I have the time, again, I unplug a lot. When my day is done, I'm usually in bed by 6, 7 o'clock during the weekdays. But if I'm awake, I will go in and say hello to other channels. I do want to say I saw that Big Bro said about holding those items in your hand when you're on an online auction or compared to a live auction. And I'll get back to that in a few minutes. So when watching the other channels, I am one of those that like to watch learning about YouTube, learning about the new updates, or like vidIQ and Nick Nimmons, just to name a few. There's so many out there through YouTube that I watch because I want to know the updates. I want to know what's going on. So I learned by watching a lot of the they call class type videos through YouTube. And that's how, if I find that I have a question about something and it's like, oh, I hear that something's coming new, or you hear the news thing about something new's coming out, I like to go research it, because if somebody asks me a question about something, I want to know, have some kind of knowledge. So one of the things that I also do is I signed up for the e-commerce Bites. It's a newsletter that comes out. If I highly recommend you to subscribe to it. It's free. And you get, depending on what news is coming out, like we just found out about the new changes coming for shipping and things like that, which we talk about every day, depending on what day as I get the messages through the e-commerce Bite newsletter. So it's all in updates and stuff. So for me, I love watching those type of videos. So yes, I do watch a lot of other content, but after my day is done, I unplug. I don't go back on YouTube. I don't go anywhere else. And I never bring my phones to me when I go to bed with me. They stay downstairs. So for me, that's just a tip. Unplug. A lot of people get into that rabbit hole of just watching, and then you don't get your work done. But for me, there's that balance. You got to balance everything you need to do regardless. So you got to give your time for yourself. You have to unplug, and you have to give yourself that time to rest and reabsorb more energy into your body. Because to me, it's a waste of time. I always hear things about this negative, and I stay away from that. So if I'm hearing it, I'm out of there.
There you go.
I don't have the energy. I want my energy towards something positive. So I keep things positive in not only my daily life, but in the YouTube world as well. What's up, Patrick?
The Patrick Murphy flying by from Ohio, from our beautiful state of Ohio. Patrick, thanks for stopping by. Make sure your plane has enough fuel to reach other destinations. But Patrick, appreciate you stopping by, man. And you're absolutely right, Johnny, because if you don't unplug, you're just so much stuff that some, not just resellers doing reselling, but content creators who make YouTube content and editing, proper editing, by the way, that do their job tremendously on like consistency and, improving their channel and trying their best, of course, to improve their videos and stuff like that, their content. It's a lot of work, and I always said it on the live. I mean, respect to those people who do that. I mean, it's not an easy task. And Johnny, you're absolutely right about drama, and you know how it is. Drama always is around. You cannot get rid of drama, unfortunately. You're familiar with me. I mean, with it more than me also. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's never gonna go away. There is gonna be always people, disagreeing with certain things.
It's just like fueling a fire. It's
exactly, and that's never gonna end. It's not just in reselling.
No,
it's in
Basically,
regular life.
never ends. It just gets a little more finesse to it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then as far as other communities, I do go into like the coin community. I have been venturing out and getting to learn more about some of the crafters in the crafting community. So yes, I do go into other communities other than the reselling.
That's good. See, there you go. And me too, by the way, me too. And a lot of content creators, so I'm pretty sure, do the same. I mean,
and the comic community with comics.
And comics. I mean, there are so many things to learn, Johnny. Like you said, jewelry, which actually brought out a great point. I also sell sports cards now, which I've never done originally. I sell some comic books a little bit, even though I'm not into knowledge with them yet. I kind of have to learn about them, but it's a lot of knowledge altogether. You have to learn about different things, and that way you're going to become better with a lot of different things. So
whenever somebody first starts out, don't try to do it all. Try to follow certain categories, so to say, or your niche. Try to follow, like, for example, if you want to do jewelry, start learning about jewelry. Or if you want to learn about like the tea lights, or even comic books, sports cards, keep with a specific topic first, or a category, genre. And then once you get that down pat, because the biggest thing about that is the learning experience about learning about that type of thing. And the more you do a different one every time, you get it down pat, you get understanding it, you get to learn it, then do another one. keep adding it, because that way you get to diverse yourself into different things without being, oh my God, I don't know nothing about it. It's going to drive me nuts. But if you take your time and research it, like for comic books, my enjoyment for learning about comic books was the graphics on the cover, learning who was the artist, what was behind it, and all that good information. You got to be able to find that while resourcing by actually looking this stuff up and Googling it. You're going to start learning more and recognizing those comic book artists, the ones that are doing the comic books, the whole 9 yards about anything from front to cover on these type of books, these comic books. You got graphic novels, you got the comic books, you have those things that are graded. I didn't know none of that when I first started, but learning it one thing at a time helps you improve what you want to sell in your store.
That's great.
Knowledge is key.
Good. Another, like I said, guys, we got our unprofessional reseller live today, guys, became at least quarter professional. Finally, Johnny brought out professionalism today to our live, guys.
I'm trying.
Man, if you're watching, man, it's no longer self-proclaimed unprofessional reseller live. Now it's quarter professional. So, Johnny, what do you feel when we're gonna see, when the community, whoever goes to those reseller meetups at different places, when they're somewhere every year, will you?
Hello, Larry. I have not been able to get to those again. When all this started with the pandemic, I eliminated myself from being in public with big groups. I decided that I wanted to make sure. I'm trying not to, Scott. I try not to go to the big. I want to go now because again, I got all my shots, and that's another story. Because I want to make sure my health is in good shape before I go anywhere in public with a good big group. But when I do travel, I always make sure to do some type of meetup, even if it's in a smaller group. Like if I go down to Connecticut, we do a meetup. I've met up with several YouTubers there. I've gone to New Hampshire, gone to Maine. And it's nice to do those smaller ones because now you're on one-on-one with everybody compared to a bigger group. But don't get me wrong, I will do it one day. But I just did not do any of that since the pandemic because that was not something I wanted to do. What's up, Larry? Good to see you, sir.
Larry, way out one in the house. Larry, thanks for stopping by as always, man. Appreciate you. And see, Scott is not happy now that we ruined our reputation now. So now we have to become like Scott's live, guys. So we're gonna talk about what's important, guys. How do you sell stuff properly on eBay? How do you sell stuff properly on Amazon? What kind of feedback do you get on Amazon and on eBay? What type of products not to sell? What type of sell-through rate you have to have? So we're turning into some kind of unusual life now, guys. So Ben will not be happy about it. But Johnny, does Robert help you with reselling business at all?
No, when we go out sourcing, we usually I'll go left or he'll go right or vice versa. If we go to, like, say, an estate sale, we always split up because we know what each other likes anyway. When it comes to collections, I do it for reselling. He does it for collections. So I know what his collections are. So when we're sourcing, I go my way, he goes his way, and we kind of meet up in the middle and kind of say, okay, look, would you interested in this? This is what I found. When we go to the bins, we do the same thing, and then we wind up coming together and saying, okay, I found this. Would you be interested in this? Or look, I got this. Would you be interested in it? So we help each other in that way. But from everything else, I do it all. Now, on his side, I did get him started on eBay. He does have a very small store, but he does it slowly. Like he'll have some puzzles or games or like PlayStation, Xbox, all those type of games. That's what he does, electronic stuff. But for me, I'm doing everything. There's all hard goods. Whatever I can get a hold of, if I can sell it, yes. But when it comes to him helping me with this portion of the business, no. Just helping us like when we're going out sourcing.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good kind of, in my opinion, it's a good thing to do it this way to kind of slowly bring him up,
Yeah.
So that's important. And what was your inspiration, Johnny, for start cooking?
I've been cooking since I was 7 years old. I've always wanted to do it. When I was staying in the my grandmother lived in the bayous of Louisiana. I would stay there all summer long, or any holidays we had off. I was always at her house because I wanted to learn. And until I was able to reach into the pots, she had a stepping stool right next to it for me, so I would learn and ask questions. So my grandmother actually taught me how to cook, in a sense that I've learned the Cajun ways, desserts, things like that. And that's what got me started. I always knew at a young age I wanted to become a cook. I wanted to be a chef. But then I joined the service, and then I did the military on the ship with the cooking in the galley. It's like, oh, no, I just cut that idea. I'm not doing this. But then I started working in the restaurants when I got out of the Navy. But I do like it. And I always did. So that's just something that I enjoy. Johnny,
That's great. And Johnny, thank you for your service. And
but thank you, Scott, for telling me that. But I think she would tell me hello, because yeah, we got it like that. Yeah.
And Johnny, how was your Lisa knows about it. Yeah, unfortunately, with our now quarter professional life, Lisa will start saying hello to everyone. Even me. So Johnny, how was your experience? I know that when you visited me here in Cleveland, Ohio, our beautiful city of Cleveland, how was your and I'm pretty sure, did you actually visit Cleveland before meeting me in Cleveland, or was it your first trip here to Cleveland?
No, we were going to our lake house. And so what we do is, when we travel from our home to our lake house in Illinois, we try to do our stops. Like in your place where you're living, we happen to be in the town next to where we stopped to get the hotel there. So we're already on our way to our next stop. So we did that as a day stop to go into our next place for the day. And so we made it our trip to when we go across, we take different routes. And the reason we take different routes, depending on who's living where, for us to do a meetup, we try to go as close as we can to Michigan on that side, because like Dawn and Mary, we meet up with them. We'll go have lunch or dinner or go sourcing. So when we do our trip, we try to make sure we stop by in some town that's nearby to meet others that are resellers on the YouTube community.
That's great. And you guys, when you visited me, it was great time, guys. And
yeah,
if you watched that video, yeah, we had a great time. We went sourcing at what is now became not a good place to source anymore. But in 2021, it was pretty decent. It was mostly Amazon type of stuff, and we had good time at that store. And then we went to Goodwill, which actually at that time in 2021, end of 2021, still had at least decent type of prices at that time, which was already 3 years ago, kind of. So you see how different the times have changed now, and we enjoyed it. And it was great for me to meet Johnny and Robert. They're really, really great people, and it was a good experience. And then Johnny, you went into Illinois and you visited Pete's shop, which also
Craigslist Hunter. Yes,
you put out a video. How was your experience at Pete's Craigslist?
I have to say, when I met Pete, it was I guess because he was at that time, I was a little nervous because again he was a big YouTuber. It's like that was one of my bucket lists. I wanted to go meet him, and he was very down to earth, just like you see in his videos. Very friendly. We had a great time, and then we started asking questions. At that time, the biggest thing about YouTube was keeping your live shows separate from your pre-recordeds. So I asked him, I said, would you mind? Because I got my GoPro strapped to my chest, ready to go. I'm filming while I'm in there. And he gave me a great interview, and I recorded it and I put it up on my channel. And so for me to meet Craig that way, and then he was very nice and answered my questions, gave me a great interview. I would love to go back and say hello to him again. Because that's how he was. He was just like he is on the videos, down to earth and welcoming, and congratulating me on my YouTube channel and all that good stuff. And so it was a great thing. That's what I wanted to do while we were there, and we were able to do that.
Yeah, Pete is very genuine, and that's what I mean. For me personally, and I can see people how they are right away. Like I said before, when I turn on certain channel, I see how the person is. After watching at least 2 videos, it takes me like maybe 2. I already know what kind of person it may be. So like I would not watch it. I would not comment bad stuff, but I will just not watch it. And I mean, it's just not for my personality and stuff like that, because I know how genuine people will behave in terms of YouTube compared to people who just do certain videos and push out certain content that is basically kind of something not for everyone, but it kind of fools people that it is, So in my
And
opinion,
that's why I always tell people to be yourself. Like for me, what you see here, I may be a little bit more wilder in person because then I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative on the YouTube. But what you see is what you're gonna get in real person. When I meet you, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see how I act. I'm the same way. Maybe a little bit
exactly,
more.
and I can attest to that, guys. I met both Johnny and Robert. What you see with what you get. Amazing,
Yep.
genuine people, guys, and if you meet them, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. When you meet them, at most likely some meetup eventually, if
Yeah.
Johnny will be able to go with Robert, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be kind of cool to meet them and talk to them about different things. Johnny, what is your opinion on Whatnot? Do you plan to sell stuff on Whatnot?
I do Whatnot and I do Posh. When I first started, I did I think 5 shows now. And then on Posh, I did about 5 as well. And I try to do them on a regular basis. But for me, my inventory, I try to get as much as I can where I try to give it a good deal. But I know a lot of resellers are trying to get good deals on every sale, whereas some things I cannot sell under $3. So for me, I would have to have a bigger inventory, which I try to do. Like I do well on jewelry. I do really well with Whatnot on jewelry. And I did some comic book sales. But again, the jewelry went better. So I do plan on doing some more YouTube, Whatnot and Posh lives. But with Posh, I do a lot of share shows. And with that, I try to promote other YouTubers that are doing Posh, especially those that are following my channel. I do the Posh lives so that way I can promote their closet as well, but also rotate in sales. So I can do a guest as a co-host, and that way. But Whatnot, I'm not sure how to do that yet because I'm not too familiar with Whatnot. I'm still learning. But I have to say, with between Whatnot and Posh, I do better with Posh. I do sales, no problem on Whatnot, but it's just to build up that following. You have to be consistent, just like anything else you do. So again, because it's something recently that I just did in the last year to add, my goal was to have it done by Christmas. And so I actually had it done right after Thanksgiving. I'm getting approved for Whatnot and Posh. So now it's my goal to build those two up this year sometime. But it's to make that time for that as well. And it's a lot of time consuming.
Yes, and you're absolutely right. With so many different things, like you said, that you need to accomplish during the day, and with reselling and
Yeah.
content and lives and stuff like that. Johnny, before we end tonight, do you plan to do a podcast
I
with
already
anyone?
do. I already do my shows in the morning as a podcast, but I would love to do a podcast with someone, which is my goal. But I just started this past year. All my morning shows I do put on the podcast. So I already started it, but I'm actually doing the physical podcast. I haven't done one yet, but I am looking into doing it. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. So we're gonna have more podcasts coming soon, guys.
Yeah.
There is already a lot of different podcasts in the community, which are great and
Yeah.
great for the community. So it's always helpful. And Johnny, did you notice a jump in content creators currently? I would say within the last couple months with reselling content compared to say 2021.
Oh
Uh,
God, yes. Yeah.
there are
There's a lot, and a lot of again. Notice, and I'm not just saying it as being the part of the way it started was through the pandemic. But a lot of people, when they started losing their jobs or had to work from home, they tend to start going into the reselling community to do online auctions. So I think that's where it started jumping into the more content creators. So I have to say yes, between the time I started till now, because I've also seen a lot of people who used to do YouTube when I first started in 2019 that aren't even around anymore. They stopped doing YouTube. Very now and then you might see them do a video. So I've seen a lot of people come and go. But again, there's some people who have started even after the pandemic had ended that are going back to work because it's not sufficing their income that they need. So you have to do that balance work on, is it worth it a lot of people, and I'm only saying this because when I first started, I saw so many people bragging about they're making this kind of money with YouTube. But the more subscribers you have, the more followers you have, yes, you can make the bigger bucks. But you still got to be consistent. You still got to put out your videos. You still got to do your content on a regular basis. And you got to get those view counts. But if you continuously do that, yes, you can probably make a lot of money. But when I first started out, I was making $150, $200. Now I'm making over 400, getting almost to 500. But that's monthly. But that's a lot of work. You got to be consistent. You got to keep producing that content. And if you don't, it's not going to work for you. If that's what you're in it for the money, then you got to work even harder. Because for me, I'm doing it because I love it. Yes, it's great to have the little extra income, but for me, it's just a thing that I enjoy and I love doing.
That's great.
Leave.
That's great, Johnny. Actually, and I'm I'm the same
What's
way.
up,
Like I'm the same way right now, and you're absolutely right about it. You have to put a lot of work into it. You have to work on not just your content and the lives, constantly do something with content creation and try to put out at least some kind of video. And you're absolutely right. Scott actually mentioned just now that he's seen a lot of people leave YouTube since 2015. Scott been around for a long time, so he knows what's up.
Yeah, and again, I started in 2019, and here we are, 2024, and I've seen a lot of people since then that I used to watch. They're not even making content anymore. They're no longer around. So
you're
that's
right,
correct.
and I remember.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of people who
remember.
drop it. Yeah,
I remember back in the day when even I had at least was showing up in your lives, which I told Johnny I'll try to improve on that.
Well, me and you both.
Try to wake up earlier a little bit. Like Scott will say, you gotta wake up your ass and start watching Johnny in the morning instead of constantly sleeping until 12 p.m. in the afternoon. Even like on Scott shows, I can actually wake up at certain time on Wednesday where I try to go sourcing on Wednesdays in the morning, and then sometimes I'll change it up and not go, and then I will sleep in, and then I will turn on Scott's live in the morning with Steve, who is from here, from Cleveland, and he got John there. Sometimes he'll get different, like Todd is always there with his desk, and it's always exciting. They talk about serious business. They talk about their serious business with Josh Galt and John Flipping and Easy guys on their podcast. So they're serious business people, not like me and Lisa with our unprofessional self.
Hey, you speak for yourself, Bob.
Speak for yourself. Danny, Piqua Resellers. Danny, welcome, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Guys, before we end today, finally, because Johnny has better things to do than sit around with us and talk and teach us how
I took a long nap this afternoon twice, so I'm good.
Wondered how you were still hanging
I got that
in
extra
there.
energy, yeah.
Yeah, teach us about reselling in a proper
Look, this is what I think about sleep. Coffee, you can sleep when you're dead.
That's Johnny, you're absolutely right. And I want to mention, guys, before we leave, Piqua Resellers Danny will be our guest next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that, guys. We are excited to have Danny on. We met Danny at the Reseller Rally. I know Danny since 2021, and Danny has been in the community making content for a while. So it's going to be a great opportunity for us to interview Danny. So Danny, we really appreciate you, man.
So I have a question real quick for Scott. When do you do your podcast and it's on your channel? Scott?
That's I think actually Scott, you can put the link for podcast and also time if you would like in the chat. So people who want to follow proper content will follow and learn.
Hello, Larry. Welcome.
Let's think about that one.
The Crazy Card. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome.
Mike, welcome. Mike. The Crazy Card in the house. Mike, appreciate you stopping by. Big Bro saying, what is this thing called sleep? Yeah, Danny, we cannot wait on next week, man. It's gonna be great. So before we leave, guys, and Scott, if you're still here, put the link in the chat if you would like for your for the podcast with John and Josh Galt, where actually you can learn something. not from this live, guys. And yeah, there you go. Profit Playbook podcast has its own channel. So there you go, guys. When you go to Profit Playbook podcast, I'll put it in a chat, the link for you guys to subscribe and follow, and you can see what time they do their podcast and when it's released, guys. And they actually have a lot of interesting stuff, even though I watch it sporadically or like partially. Sometimes I can learn something that I don't know about. So there you go, guys. Profit Playbook podcast. And Johnny, if you would like to know the time, you can actually find out in the description. follow
I have it
the
pulled up.
Reddit.
I have it pulled up. I will look at it after.
Yeah, Scott, I put a link in. So guys, subscribe to Profit Playbook podcast.
I'm the same way, Scott. I don't like doing that kind of stuff on my phone. I don't know how
All right,
Jennifer does it.
guys, I would like to thank all of you for joining us tonight. It was great time. Johnny, we really appreciate you. And
Thank you for having me.
I will always remember what you did for me, man, and how you helped me out. And, you know, sometimes you kind of remember stuff, what people do for you. You want to return the favor. You know, it's always important, guys, because Johnny, see, there you go, releases 9 a.m. every Saturday. So, guys,
all right.
There you go. And you got new subscribers, Scott. You got Anthony. Anthony, actually, watch Profit Playbook podcast. You will learn something. I graduated with an F from Profit Playbook podcast, so I was kind of suspended.
No, you'd have to repeat with an F.
So, Johnny, we really appreciate you. The community loves you, Johnny, and we really appreciate all the help and all the shout outs and all the support.
Yes.
And everyone that you have done great things for in the community. It's always going to be remembered.
And I'm looking to help more in the future.
Exactly. And guys, once again, I'll put Johnny's channel in. Please subscribe to Johnny for sure. Follow him on Instagram. I put all the links in the description for his Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, his bingo nights, auctions, lives, whatever. Johnny does so many things in the community, guys. You will not miss Johnny, because he will say, "Here's Johnny," or he'll say, "Hello, everyone." So Johnny always comes in with a great support. And
if
also,
you watch my lives in the morning, that little intro I put in there about let him have it with no problem, I got the dollars. You have to go and watch the original Frankie and Johnny furniture store out in New Orleans. That got me that idea to do that portion of the video, the clubs. And it is in the descriptions of all my videos of the link of where you can go and find the original Frankie and Johnny commercial when I did that. Yeah.
And there you go, guys. And once again, thank you to everyone who joined us today, people who were lurking and will rewatch our live.
Yes.
We are thankful to you guys, all the people who sent us super chats, Glamour's Closet and Chat, Wolfman's Goodies. We appreciate you guys. And next week, guys, we're going to have Danny, Piqua Resellers on our live. Please join us next week on Saturday at 8 p.m. We also would like to thank Ben, Alex, Shane, and Chris, and the Reseller Locker Room podcast for letting us be their guests this week. It was a lot of fun. We thank you guys for that, for the opportunity to be on the live. And we'll see you guys next Saturday. I'll be having surgery again this upcoming week, second surgery in the last 2 weeks. So I know that I don't want to bother you guys with it, but it is what it is. That's how life sometimes develops and into one thing than another. So hopefully, Danny, I'll be okay. Hopefully, as they told me, I'll be fine for Saturday night. So hopefully I will be. So I don't want to reschedule you, man, for sure. I will
There's
be.
Always meds. There's always the meds.
Yeah, there's always meds for that. So guys, thank you once again. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the heat if you can. Turn on the air conditioners. Stay cool. Stay healthy and happy, prosperous. Have great sales. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week.
Later.
And y'all come back now. You hear? Be profitable. Good night, gang.
Bye.
Bye.